Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Thursday's Assembly. Now, normally we'd have Assembly on Friday, but obviously it's bank holiday tomorrow because of VE Day, which is going to be part of our theme for us, or our theme for Assembly today. I'd like to say really well done to everybody again at the start of the Assembly. I've just been so impressed with everybody's work. Obviously, I've seen a lot of work on Instagram that's been sent to me. Nursery and reception have been busy making things, making your yogurt and fruit smoothies. Year 3 have been making videos about VE Day. Year 6 have been making their onion cures. There have been pieces of writing, so much work, and your teachers have shared so much work. So really, really well done, everybody. It's been a pleasure to see that work, and I've just been so proud of the way that everybody has adapted to online learning and remote learning. Really, really well done. Now, to start this morning's assembly, I have a number of videos, and I hope we won't have any technical problems today. Have had a trial, so hopefully we won't have any difficulties. I'd like to start assembly with Jude playing for us. So. Okay, Jude, really nice performance. Thank you very much for starting our assembly. Now, we spoke on Monday about VE Day and the importance of VE Day and how people had suffered 6 years of terrible hardship and loss of life, and that it was a celebration. So tomorrow is 75 years since that famous day in British history, in European history and world history. Now, year 3, I know have been learning about this and they've been writing their own pieces, but I'd like to start now by playing you Churchill's speech. Churchill was the Prime Minister. This is an incredibly historic moment. The speech that he made to the country to tell them that the war in Europe, after nearly six long years, had finally ended. So it's about 2 minutes, and I'd like you to listen to this historic moment.
Yesterday morning at 2:41 a.m. at General Eisenhower's headquarters, General Jodl, the representative of the German High Command, and of Grand Admiral Dönitz, the designated head of the German state, signed the act of unconditional surrender of all German land, sea, and air forces in Europe to the Allied expeditionary forces and simultaneously to the Soviet High Command. Hostilities will end officially at 1 minute after midnight tonight, Tuesday, the 8th of May. But in the interest of saving lives, the ceasefire began yesterday to be sounded along all the fronts. The German war is therefore at an end. We may allow ourselves a brief period of rejoicing. Today is Victory in Europe Day.
This was the moment we'd all been waiting for. Enormous crowds had gathered outside the House and all over the centre of London to hear the end of the war in Europe officially announced by the Prime Minister. True, VE Day had been anticipated by the people of London, who'd done a bit of unofficial celebrating the previous evening. But this was the real moment, and this is how Winston Churchill ended his broadcast.
Okay, so I'm sure lots of you have already seen that, but an incredibly historic moment. And tomorrow, when it is VE Day, at 11 o'clock, there's going to be a 2-minute silence. Now, if we'd have been in school, we would have had, obviously, that 2-minute silence. But when you're at home, at 11 o'clock, do just stop and think about the sacrifice that those people made. There were millions of people who sadly lost their lives, and the freedoms that we have today are down to those people, your great-grandparents, perhaps great-great-grandparents, who fought in that war. Colonel Tom, who we've talked about in a couple of our assemblies, he was one of those people. So do take the time, and the Queen is going to make a speech tomorrow. There's going to be various other events. So watch the television and learn about what was a momentous occasion. Now, Year 3 have done some superb writing, and I hope we will be able to share more pieces on our YouTube channel. We'll obviously get parents' permission, and over the next week or so I hope we can upload those. But 3 have been shared with me. Now, I'm not going to play the whole of the clips. The Year 3 children have written their own news report or news item reporting this great event. But I'm going to play you 3 snippets. First Matilda, then Oliver, and then Summer. So the first one is Matilda. Sorry.
Hello and welcome to the West Lodge News reported by Matilda Hartley. We have just had breaking news that Prime Minister Winston Churchill has made an announcement that the war in Europe has come to an end. There are celebrations all around Europe. It has been 6 years since the World War II broke out in 1939. During that time, the world has suffered with homes being bombed, children being evacuated, food rationing, and the loss of loved ones. Today has been...
Okay, Matilda, really lovely presentation, really nice piece of writing. I'm sorry I can't play the whole thing now, but we will hopefully be able to upload that to YouTube and other people can enjoy it. The next one is Oliver's. Now, Oliver's is a couple of minutes long, but I'm just going to play you the first 40 seconds.
We interrupt this broadcast with a breaking news bulletin live from the BBC with Oliver Perrier.
Good afternoon. The Prime Minister Winston Churchill has today announced that the war has ended. The battle, which has been ongoing for 6 years, is over, with thousands of men due home in the next few weeks. We have, however, suffered many losses, and although women and children across Britain are celebrating tonight, many face the realisation of their loved ones are not coming home. The government has said evacuees can start.
Okay, Oliver, another fantastic piece of work, really well presented, beautifully written. And the last one I have to share with you today is Summer's presentation.
Hi, I'm Summer Griggs. I'm here to tell you about VE Day as a reporter from 75 years ago. VE Day is Victory in Europe Day. Yes, we have just been told that the Germans have surrendered and the Allied forces have won. Yay!
Okay, Summer, thank you very much. Children, really, really lovely work. I look forward to seeing some more, and hopefully we will be able to share those over the next week. Really, really good presentation skills as well. Now, thinking back to that moment in 1945, although many people were celebrating, as I said the other day, there was much sadness as well because of the loss of life, and many families felt that they couldn't celebrate the end of the war. But also thinking about the future, people were hopeful for the future, but it was very much an unknown. The country was in a terrible state financially. The country was crippled. Much of the money and the resources had gone on fighting the war. So people didn't know what was going to happen. And that's something I would like to focus upon now. I'm not saying the time we're living in now is anything like World War II. But it is an uncertain time with coronavirus. Many people have been sick, are sick. We're not going to school at the moment. So we don't know what the future is going to hold. And I'd just like to demonstrate this with a pack of cards. Now, my daughter, Molly, is going to help me. So, Molly, can you come round with the cards, please? Okay, right. Now, what we're going to do is we've got a pack of cards here, normal cards. I'm sure all of you have done this before. I'm going to hold them, and Molly is going to pick a card, and then she's going to decide whether the next card will be higher or lower. And I will do the same, and I'd like you to do it at home. So, for example, if we pick a 6, you decide if the next card is going to be higher or lower. Tell your brother, sister, or perhaps your parent. Or even if you're on your own, shout it at the screen. Okay, well done, Molly.
Higher.
Okay, so Molly's going for higher. I'm going to go for higher as well. So let me hold that there. Okay, who went for higher? Well done, we were both correct. Thank you, Molly. I'll just give them a little shuffle there. Right, okay, let's go again then. Oh, an ace. Now, I think we will say an ace is low, so an ace counts as 1. So what are you going to go for, Molly?
Higher.
Higher? I'm going to go higher. A 2. Okay. Molly?
Higher.
Higher. I'm going to go higher as well. Oh, we've got 4. Right. Okay, so it was higher. We'll do a last one. Okay, let's see where we go. So I'm going to go for lower than 4. What are you going to go for, Molly?
Higher.
Higher, okay. Oh, it's a 7. Well done, Molly. I was wrong. Okay, thank you very much. Now, the point in doing that is we can't predict what is going to happen. With the cards, we actually got some quite easy cards. Now, if we get an ace, we know the next number is going to be higher if we're saying ace is 1. But had we got 6, very difficult. Could have been lower, could have been higher. Now, I think the future's a little bit like that at the moment. It's very uncertain for so many of us. On Sunday, I'm looking forward to Boris Johnson's announcement, and I'm really hopeful that we will be able to go back to school. I've been doing quite a bit of work on that, making sure it's safe for us to return to school, but I'm hopeful. But none of us actually know. Even Boris Johnson, the government, don't know what is going to happen in the future with coronavirus. If we think back to September, none of us had ever heard about coronavirus. We certainly didn't think that we were going to be learning from home, working from home. If I'd have said that to you, you'd have thought, he's gone crazy. What's he talking about? We just don't know. But what I do want you to do, and the point I want to make is, I think if we look back to 1945, your great-grandparents, perhaps you can talk to them about it, even your grandparents may be able to remember. But people then, even though times were incredibly uncertain and very, very difficult, people had little food, jobs, very few jobs, people coming back from the war, they didn't know what they were going to do. People were really positive about the future. There was lots of uncertainty, but they were positive. And I hope that you will join me in being positive about the future at school. If we get the opportunity to go back to school, let's embrace it. Let's make the most of it and actually appreciate what we have, the things that we kind of take for granted in many ways, that we all do. My drive to school, I've moaned about it many times, sitting on the M25, but actually, I've quite enjoyed it. And actually, it's a real pleasure to be able to drive to work. So things that we perhaps didn't appreciate, let's be positive about. So we don't know, but I hope that we will certainly be able to see some of you back in school over the next, perhaps 6 weeks, certainly before the end of the academic year. But let's keep positive and have that 1945 spirit that people had. Now, moving on, I would like to just do, I've got lots of Head Teachers Awards, I'd like to do birthdays. So, we had 4 birthdays this week. I'm afraid I haven't got any music for you, but on the 4th of May, Maya in Year 5 had her birthday. So very happy birthday, Maya. Here is your virtual birthday, West Lodge birthday sticker. On the 5th, we had Alan, and poor Alan had coaching club. Well, so did Maya, actually, on the 4th. So happy birthday to you, Alan, for the 5th. Then Minal in Year 1 had her birthday on the 5th. Minal sent me a video, actually, Mrs. Clare and I, a video of some things she did with her family, which was absolutely lovely, and she had a puppet show that she'd made, which was brilliant. And then Zoya in reception, it was her birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to you. And it's also my mum's birthday today, so I will be ringing her later. Now, moving on to Head Teachers Awards. As I said, there's been some fantastic work, and I've got a lot of Head Teachers Awards this week, so you're going to have to bear with me. Head Teachers Awards and Merits. Now, children, I'm really sorry, but I've lost or mislaid my virtual Head Teachers Award, so I can't give you the virtual award, I'm afraid, but I will obviously recognise it now. So in reception, I've got Head Teachers Awards for Safreen for working hard on her writing, for Ronan for his writing and his illustration, Florence Tozer for her work across the curriculum and for helping her local community by litter picking. Well done to Florence. Rachel in reception, her work across the curriculum, and a special mention for all of the children in nursery and reception who completed the task of making milkshakes. They all looked delicious. Now, some of those have been put up on YouTube, and I hope Instagram, and I hope you've enjoyed those. I certainly have. Year 1 Head Teachers Awards. We have Florence Chelton, who has 2 for a fantastic playground that she made, and also for an amazing piece of writing that is also on YouTube. So well done to you, Florence. Henry in Year 1. Now, I've seen some of Henry's work being in school, and Henry has got another Head Teachers Award for his writing. Really well done. And Sam Collins for effort. I'm not sure if you've had that one before, Sam. I wasn't sure, but I thought I would mention it again. But really well done. And we had that very creative name that you had made on the floor using lots of natural materials. And Mrs. Clary has said, please, could I also say on her behalf, thank you to all of Year 1 as you have worked really hard this week. So well done. And I know Mrs. Clary is really proud of you. Year 2. I've got a note here that could I mention the children whose names were read out before Jude last week shouldn't have had merits, or on Monday, it should have been a Head Teachers Award. So my apologies, you've actually got a Head Teachers Award, so very well done. So for this week, we've got a Head Teachers Award for Arabella for her excellent work on plants. She created a video to show all of the plants she has been growing and recording their measurements, and that's on Instagram. Do enjoy that, do watch that. Cece has a Head Teachers Award for a fantastic video explaining the life of a sunflower, and Sahana has a merit for an excellent non-chronological report about seaside holidays. So moving on to Year 3, Head Teachers Awards for creative writing. So this was about a trip to the fair inspired by Charlotte's Web. So Neve has a Head Teachers Award for an amazing piece of descriptive writing with similes and metaphors such as the Warner Brothers sign like a trophy on a shelf, and I feel sick to my stomach that my heart is breakdancing. Wow, some amazing descriptive writing, so very well done. Perhaps Mrs. Coleman will share that with me. Isu has used ambitious vocabulary, accurate and varied punctuation along with interesting sentence starters. Isu also included some wonderful figurative language, so very well done to Isu. Florence Hicks, a wonderful descriptive account, again using excellent figurative language. Avani, a lovely piece of descriptive writing, really capturing the excitement of the event. Great use of similes and metaphors. Gosh, to be using metaphors in Year 3 is fantastic. Amelia, a superb piece of descriptive writing with great use of ambitious vocabulary, such as accelerated. Then we have Bailey O'Callaghan, an excellent piece of descriptive writing about a trip to Alton Towers. David, a super piece of descriptive writing, confidently applying similes and metaphors. A second and well-deserved one for Avani for her continuation of the poem by Burley Doherty titled Playground. So very well done to you, and I'm sure we'll have lots more Head Teachers Awards in Year 3 with those fantastic Churchill speeches or news articles. Year 5. Okay, so we have got Annabelle has got a Head Teachers Award. Princess, Nancy, Isla and Alicia all have merits for some lovely writing about comparing homeschooling with being in school. And I was pleased that most children felt that being in school was their preferred choice, but some could see the benefits of homeschooling as well. Really, really interesting. And perhaps we'll share those when they are back at school, or if we could have them recorded on video, we may be able to share them by YouTube. French. I've got a Head Teachers Award for Iron. Excellent description of the planet Mercury, demonstrated understanding and position and agreement of adjectives. Well done. Music. Lots of fantastic music going on. So Hannah has a Head Teachers Award for mastering grade 5 piano scales and whizzing through the pieces. Well done. Avani for learning all the grade 2 piano pieces in super quick time. And Orla for tackling her first grade 1 piece really well and with enthusiasm. So very well done. Year 2. Head Teachers Award for Thea for conquering her fear of appearing and speaking in the live lessons. George, super first answer in the lesson and great accent. Zachary for volunteering to speak and trying really hard to repeat a longer sentence about going to the restaurant and saying what he eats. That was for French. And I've got a note here. Please could I also announce a merit, so a class merit for year 4. And Madame Pavey says a lovely lesson about preferences for animals. And many of the children challenge themselves to use more complex phrases too. And I have merits for Zoe, Hannah, Angie, Eleanor for great French cartoon strips. And those are on Instagram as well. Year 6. Now, Year 6 have produced some fantastic work, and I hope you've been enjoying the onion cures on Instagram. So, Head Teachers Awards for Phoebe, Zoe, Esme, Emma, merits. So, I do have a virtual merit for you. Merits for George B, Oliver, Harley, Isabel, Chrishal, and Freya. Also, Eleanor Kefford Watson and Amelia for her bar graphs work and her onion tonic work. So fantastic work in Year 6, and I'll say it again, brilliant to see Year 6 setting an example to everyone else, particularly in the summer term. Year 4 Head Teachers Awards, we have Jacob Brown, Neve Walker, Priyanka, Violet for writing superb letters to the NHS, which were both formal and personal, and that was thanking the NHS and the staff for their amazing work at the moment. Harley Gale for being so conscientious about her maths, Head Teachers Award for you, and Zach Collins for continuing to work hard at home. Right, then I have some more work. Merit certificate, merit certificate. So a virtual merit certificate for these people. Charlotte Sanford, Emily Netherton, Sienna, Grace Brown for writing wonderful letters to the NHS, appreciating all the hard work that they do. And I'm sure Mr. Sands will be sending those off to our local hospital. It'd be nice if we could have those on display in school as well when we get back. So an amazing amount of good work and numerous Head Teachers Awards. It's a good job we're not in school, because I think I'd have run out of stickers. But it's lovely to see all this work, children. I'm so proud of your efforts, and I hope you are too. Talking about being positive, embracing opportunity, you have certainly done that. And I've said this before, the amazing skills that you have learnt. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, work hard today, and then enjoy the bank holiday tomorrow. I think it's going to be nice weather as well. And do watch some of those events that are taking place for the 75th anniversary of VE Day. Now we're going to close assembly with a performance from George, who is playing the piano. Let me just check which video have I... Yes. So George, really well done. Thank you very much for that performance to end assembly. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. If you haven't watched live, hopefully you will be able to find the stream on YouTube. Have a fantastic day, children, and I look forward to receiving more of your work. Okay, bye-bye, and look forward to seeing you on Monday for assembly at